Hello students, welcome back to class, and I hope that you tried to do the previous lesson. We're on lesson 8, conversation. Conversation between Kathy and John, okay? And so this exercise presents various ways of describing future events. So now we're not talking about past events, now we're going to start talking about future events in the remaining lessons of this unit. This exercise presents various ways of describing future events, including the future continuous and the future perfect. All right, this book, the New Interchange, was written about 20 years ago. It's a good book. It's very good. I love it. But it was written about 20 years ago. All right, and so in lesson 8, 9, 10, 11, we're going to be talking about, the book will be talking about things that might happen in the future. So remember, this was written 20 years ago in the 1990s. And so some of the things they say might happen in the future, they actually did happen in the future. So, for example, Kathy, have you heard about the new computer they're coming out with? It'll be able to recognize any voice command, so you won't ever need to use the keyboard. Yeah, and soon everyone will be using computers that fit into the palm of your hand. Within 20 years, I bet all news and information will be coming through computers. By then, maybe even newspapers will have disappeared. Wow, computers are going to take over our lives one of these days. Yeah, isn't it great? Okay, so interesting. They're talking about what they think will happen with computers in the future. And so let's go through the vocabulary and explain a few things. Have you heard about the new computer they're coming out with? They're coming out with is something that is in the process of being revealed, in the process that is being manufactured, or in the process that is being sold. They're coming out with. It means they're in the process. It is a continuous tense. They're coming out with. It's in the process of being created, or it's in the process of being sold. It'll, can you say that? It will, but it's contraction. You need to learn to speak with contractions. It'll be able to recognize any voice command. So you won't ever need to use the keyboard. Won't, don't forget to make the T sound. Okay, a voice command is a spoken instruction to a computer to do something. We can do that on our computers, and we can do it on our cell phones now. You speak and it types the word for you. Okay, you don't even have to touch the keyboard. You don't have to type it. You can just speak it. That's called a voice command. John, yeah. And soon everyone will be using computers that fit into the palm of your hand. Did you know that your cell phone, your smartphone, is a computer? Exactly. Your smartphone has a computer chip in it. Your smartphone can do typing, type letters, and do math in your smartphone. And so your smartphone is a computer, and a computer that fits in the palm of your hand. You see the picture? There is the palm of our hand is the open part of our hand, and the phone is a computer, and it fits. It means, to fit means it's some. Like my jacket fits, it's the right size. My shoes fit, they're the right size. Or my shoes don't fit, they're too big or too small. And so fit means to be appropriate, the right size. And so the phone fits, it's the right size for your hand. Yeah, within 20 years, Kathy says, within 20 years, I bet. I bet means I guess. I bet all our news and information will be coming through computers. Well, it sure does, doesn't it? On Facebook, I don't read a newspaper. Every day I read international news and local news, and I read it on my phone, which is a computer. I bet. I think that maybe is what it means. I bet. I bet you like prahak. I bet you like ply durian. I bet. That means I think, I guess. John says, by then, maybe even newspapers will have disappeared. Okay, disappeared means to ba'aling. It means to no more, to have no more. He says, I think maybe there will not be any newspapers in the future because everything will be on the computer. Kathy says, wow. Computers are going to take over our lives one of these days. Take over means to get control of something. The past tense, the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia. Our new boss took over the office. He means he gained control. He was the new boss. And so the future, I think computers are going to take over our lives. It means I think computers might control our lives. And John says, yeah, isn't it great? All right, let me say this one more time. I'll read this conversation one more time, and then I want you to read it and send me your voice message. Hey, have you heard about the new computer they're coming out with? It'll be able to recognize any voice command, so you won't ever need to use the keyboard. Yeah, and soon everyone will be using computers that fit into the palm of your hand. Within 20 years, I bet all of our news and information will be coming through computers. By then, maybe even newspapers will have disappeared. Wow, computers are going to take over our lives one of these days. Yeah, isn't it great? So this is learning, talking about the future. And remember, when it comes to conversation and speaking English, you can say this. I have many students, I give them this, and they can read it. But they do not read it fluently. Your goal is to speak English fluently. How do you speak English fluently? You say it again, and again, and again, and again. All right? And so you should read this conversation many times until you can speak with confidence, okay? So don't just speak it and say, okay, good enough, now I go to the next lesson. Do not go to the next lesson until you can say this 80% accurate with 80% confidence. Say it again and again and again until you feel you have confidence of speaking strongly, speaking correctly, correct pronunciation, intonation, stress, pause. Send your voice message to me. And when I check you and I say it's okay, then move on to the next lesson, all right? This is how you will speak English fluently. All right, so do your homework and I will see you in the next lesson.